cigarette. You like my shirt? It's a bit of a cock magnet. Plus, look at my jacket. Like, I realized I'm a whole man. I fucking went in and thought that this looked good. Like in the old days, they go, hey, that jacket would be a good one to bury my father in. Now I'm like, fuck it, that's too good for him. Fuck it. I don't have no clothes on the ground. God damn. Woo! We're on this fucking trip and it's wild, man. We're in Las Vegas, you know, and this was before the RV trip, so then we flew here and we got the RV. And Vegas, I don't like it that much because I'm a fucking degenerate. And as a matter of fact, I had to bring a poker player on tour with me because that's where I lost. So, I'm a fucking idiot. But anyways, I was in Vegas, and here's the interesting things you see in Vegas, because gambling so fucking fucks up your mind, right? So, in Vegas, any casino really, people will come there, and they come there with like a plan, a scheme sometimes, you know, a plot, scheme. A plot always trumps a scheme. And their idea is they're going to break the bank, you know, because they got a system, you know? And actually, sometimes these systems don't work at all. So, I think I saw like a system that was beginning to unravel. Because I just heard, like, you know, you just hear a snippet of conversation, but it tells you a lot behind it, like you just, you know what I mean? And I heard, like one time, I give you an example, I was walking by two homeless dudes, and I looked, one homeless dude said to the other, he's like, when the fuck were you ever goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens? So, we got enough of this guy's horse shit. That was the famous thing. So this is all I heard, and I inferred from this that I may have seen the beginning of the unravel of the system, because it was just a guy and his wife, and they were silent. There was tension when I walked in, and then as we were going down, suddenly, out of the blue, the guy turns to his wife and goes, I don't give a fuck what I said, give me the money. I'm changing the system. It's all so irrational down there. This is what I did. I went to the roulette. I'll show you how. First of all, I sniffle when I'm nervous. And then I think everybody thinks I'm fucking on cocaine. You know, and then that makes me paranoid. So, and the cocaine itself makes me paranoid. Combination. And I don't know why I sniffle all the time. But, anyways, I go to the roulette table. This is how irrational you are. I go to the roulette table and I put $200 down on black. And then the thing spins and it lands on red. And then I say, fuck, I almost picked that. Everyone at the table understood that, you can't. And go against your first instincts if you know anything about the game of roulette. You know that you can't overthink it. But anyway, we flew here. That's a gamble. But it's not a gamble at all. You never die. But you always think you're going to die. Every time you're in a plane, I go, hey, I'm probably going to die. What the fuck am I on a plane for? Why did I do this? It's a bad choice. And, but then, you know, we get out and then it's all right. But I always said, here's a little tip for you, because I travel a lot. Sit in the emergency exit rooms, because you get extra leg room, and all you have to do to get into them is to lie. It's the easiest thing in the world. The stewardess comes up, not stewardess, but flight attendants. A lot of new words, folks, all right? When I was young, if you were a woman and a flight attendant, we called you a stewardess. And if you were a man and you were a flight attendant, we called you, you know, it's I didn't say anything. I don't know where your guys' minds are. Anyway, the stewardess comes up and she says, hey, listen, if the plane crashes and everything, would you mind, like, letting out other people first, stuff like that? Like, open this here and doing all that. And then you go, yes, I'll do it. I was going to ask you if I could do it. That's the idea. Strange that you asked me, I was going to ask you. Of course, in real life, you know, you're fucking kicking your own mother. Yeah, fuck that, you old whore. Yeah. The life dilemma was on the TV. And then they say these things that make you feel, one I've never heard, I guess I blanked them out. But they say if a thing comes down the oxygen mask, they say make sure you put it on yourself before your little child. And I was like, well, that was my fucking plan. You have to But you know, it's all just to make you feel good. Never fucking. But you never watch the news go up, fucking plane crashed into the Pacific Ocean, but don't worry, everybody floating around on their seats. Don't listen to the lady. It worked out just fine. And also that motherfucking plane goes down so fast, like 900 miles an hour shit, crashes into the cement. First of all, the location of that emergency exit may change. There's nothing left. Let's be. They even show crashes. They show airplane crashes. They show them, and you never see a body because they're vaporized. It's just they show up, plane load of stuff. God damn, a lot of stuff in this plane. They're called remains. That's what they call stuff. Remains. And then if you're a victim, you know, if you're a family of the victim, you want to get that. You want to get those remains on account of that will give you some feeling of closure. You know what I mean? Like, you go, God damn, I haven't been able to fucking sleep a single night, you know, since Billy was in that plane crash. All I could see is remains. I feel if I could look at those, I can put this all behind me. Have a nice restful sleep. It's fucking crazy. Also, you ain't getting your kid, you know, you're getting the fucking whatever they give you. It's not like they're like, hey, look at that lock of strawberry blonde hair. God damn, that looks like Agnes. Did you fire a thigh bone earlier? So put him over there. Work on reconstructing, it's crazy. You got a job to do, man. They just go, come on, we're burning daylight, god damn it. Here's I found an ID. This says Norm Macdonald, 190 pounds. Okay, shovel 190 pounds of stuff into a bag. Right, Norm inside that. Mother wants to slip. And my mother's like, oh, look at that. I don't remember Norm having 3 eyeballs. Yeah, I guess we never really knew him. Ultimately unknowable. Some people do survive. Some people do survive plane crashes, but this is God's little joke. The only people he lets survive plane crashes are those people that crash into the Andes. Because it's a fate worse than death. You're there, wrestle with this moral quandary of cannibalism, you know, which I'm against. I think if any of you know any of my work, you'll know. And I'm not going to use this as a bully pulp to try to convince you that cannibalism is good, you know. That's not what I do. Plus, you're adults, you know. You've made up your mind about cannibalism, and I'm not going to change it. I go to talk to the kids. I go across this great continent, you know, except for Mexico. I don't want to go there, but America and Canada. I go all across America and Canada, and I go to the schools, and I try to tell I tell the kids, listen, you might think cannibalism is cool now. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, you eat a fucking guy and he'll be talking about you for a while. But in the future, I try to tell you, you gotta think about the future. God damn, with this cancel culture, you know what I mean? A guy could be the funniest motherfucker ever, and then it's like, hey, he fucking ate 3 people. Oh, got to fire. Get rid of him, he's no good. He's no good. Remember the victims, the people that got eaten. But remember the cannibal that can't get a fucking job. Whatever, you know. Here's the problem with the fucking Andes. First of all, don't fly over the Andes. How about that? I never understand that. People go, listen, man, I want to go to an island with my wife Ruth, and we're going to read Kindle thing, and lie in a hammock, all that shit. Anyways, can we go over the Andes on the way? I want to fly over the Andes in a white plane. Do you have a white airplane? An airplane is blinding white anyway. Then you crash, and then you got this motherfucking decision making. And they always wait too long for the decision. That's the problem. You know, they wait until they're, you know, you gotta be prepared for this kind of shit. I'm prepared, like, if I'm in an airplane and there's just the slightest turbulence, I'll go, I'm eating that fucker in 14th seat. That guy looked delicious. I seen him on the way in. God damn, he looks good. And then I crashed, and when nobody's looking, I dragged a guy behind the fucking chair. Then 3 months later, like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, burp. Maybe we gotta eat those corpses. Where are they anyway? There's a bunch of bones over there. I think the snakes got them. But no, it is a different time where we use different words. And it's tough, you know. It's tough as a comedian because, you know, we got to use words. And that's all we got. So people are saying words and mean different things to different people. You don't know what the fuck anybody's saying. And of course, I grew up in a time that was like, you know, it was hateful. It was a time of everybody hated everybody. You know, the white male hated, like I remember my dad, white male. And this motherfucker, I remember when I was a little kid. I went up to him and I said, Dad, I really feel inside that I think that I'm a little girl. And then he said to me, wait a second, I thought you had a cock. You got me. But I only say this to display how hateful we were back then. It doesn't really that having a cock had something to do with being a boy. Hateful motherfucker. He beat Hitler also. You know, he wasn't all bad, my dad. There was that time he beat up Hitler. You know, like this is, I don't fucking hate anybody. How can you hate anybody? You try to love people. But with all these new words and shit, I love how people just pretend to understand. Go, hey, I understand that. Here you do. Like a person will go, I look in the mirror, I'm a man, but I'm not, I'm a woman. I go, yeah, I get it. You get that? What? Oh, yeah, what are you, a fucking hateful person or something? You don't understand that. I saw this thing, right? This is how fucking crazy it's got. They had Jerry Falwell's kid, and he said he didn't believe in gay marriage. So there's all these people on CNN, they're like, yeah, he's the worst fucking guy. I'm like, he's Jerry Falwell Jr., you retard. What the fuck? What do you think he's gonna say? He didn't believe in gay marriage. How about the fact that the President of the United States, Barack Obama, was against gay marriage? How about that? Like, let's say a young kid, you're a young gay kid, right? And you feel bad about yourself, you just want to get married, and then you find out Jerry Falwell Jr. is against it. That ain't gonna affect you too much. But what if you find out the hippest president that ever lived also against you? Fucking coward. And then how dare these motherfuckers, you know, go, hey man, that Jerry Falwell Jr., what a pig. I can't believe he believed what I did 3 years ago. What a fucking animal. But of course, nobody gives a fuck who gets married. That's what people don't realize. Nobody really gives a fuck about anything. I mean, I don't know. This is why I can't understand outrage and shit, right? Everybody outraged. And, fuck it, man. How can I be, like a guy come on stage, say some word, God damn, I'm outraged. I can't be outraged, and I'll tell you why. I've seen pornography on the internet. You think a fucking comedian talking's gonna outrage me? And you see so much shit that, I mean, I'm amazed that people are so outraged because it means they have such great, like, feelings, they have such great empathy, as they always tell me. And I wish I could be that good, but I don't know why. But like, this is just honest truth. I'll be watching TV, right? I'll say, click, click, I'll say like, today 6,000 people died in an earthquake, and a click. Is it Matlock on or something? Most boring story I ever heard. I get sad. I get sad that I don't get sad. Like my cat is 18, right? And I fucking started to limp and shit. Oh my God, that makes me sad. You know? I couldn't give a fuck about any of the earthquake people. I wish. I just fucking, I don't know how. Can't be outraged, you know? Pornography wrecked everything. Took away everything from all joy, you know? Everything. When you first see internet, I remember when I first saw internet pornography, I was like, what the fuck? Like, there's 10 billion. You're like, ah? woman a whore? What the These ladies are doing, a lady's never done anything close to this to me. And I was on the TV. This guy. Then you get immune to it after a while because you see so much, it takes more and more, you know what I mean? You're like fucking going, This one, you only take 8 cocks up her ass. Man, what the fuck? You're gonna be such a prude, don't get in the business. How about that, lady? I'll find something worse a person can do to some other person. And they're so misogynistic, these fucking things. You can tell just by the titles. You know, it'll always be like, dirty fucking whore loves to drink cum. Whoa! That's not the motion picture I just watched. Seemed like it wasn't her idea at all. And you know the whole Me Too movement thing? I've been thinking about it. Because I talk to women, I know a lot of women. Everyone, to a single person, has something happen. By men fuck them over, Some, just all the way from the spectrum. I mean, everything's exactly the same, but I'm not saying that. But, from patting your ass to brutally raping you for hours. I mean, it's the same thing. I'm not trying to say one's worse than the other. But every single woman I've ever talked to has a story. It's true. They're not lying. It's fucking true. But here's the thing. I think a lot, and maybe this is what you come to. If you're a woman, and fuck guys are doing that all the time to you, you go, that's what men like to do, rape. But that's not true. Some guys like to rape, and those guys rape a lot. But it takes a certain kind of person to rape. Like, even if I don't want to rape, I'll tell you why I don't want to rape. With me, a lady, let's say I meet a lady, right? And she's very beautiful, and she thinks I'm gross. Suddenly my cock doesn't work. Now, I can meet a lady that's super gross, and then she thinks I'm hot. All of a sudden my cock works. So, it's really more about me. I'm like so vain. That's all that turns me on. Some lady who likes me. And I'm never that horny that a fucking girl is like punching me in the face. I'm like, scratching my eyes, telling me I'm gross. I guess I never had a fucking high sex drive. In movies, a guy will come in, and they open the door, start kissing everything, and then fucking throw all the silverware out, start fucking on the table. I'm like, God, I've never been that horny in my life. But whoa, lady, that's fucking silverware. The bed is 9 paces that way. The fuck I eat out this goddamn thing. With my wife. So I could never rape. My cock doesn't even work at the best of times, Because I'm old man. Get old, man. And nothing works no more. I mean, I could do it, what I mean? It's possible. But everything has to be, it's not like Gotta have some dignity at some point. I'd like to retire. Well, today I'd like to thank the 8 ladies that let me lay down on top of them and all that. I appreciate it. I know it couldn't have been too pleasant for anybody involved, but I decided to take up bowling on account of my cock didn't work that well. Well, anyways, the election's coming up and all that shit. Here's the thing I was thinking when I don't know how much people know about stand-up comedy, but it's getting fucking under the microscope and all that shit, right? So this is what I hear a lot. Like, people will go, well, fuck it, I hear this a lot from other comedians. They go, men with their fucking rape jokes. And I'm like, what? I never heard a rape joke in my fucking life. Like, you actually think comics go, hey, Bill, goddamn, that was a funny rape joke tonight. I think your rape jokes may be the funniest. Phil has a 20-minute rape hunt. That motherfucker's a king. No rape joke. Nothing. And I know fucking comedy. I could not. There's only one rape joke that I remember. Oh, jeez. It's the most famous rape joke of all time. And this is a rape joke that you could tell around your family dinner. And it's cute. Oh. If you can imagine, it's a cute rape joke. It involves soap in a shower. It's a man being raped, that might help. So this is the joke. People go, hey man, you got guys going to jail, you better watch out and not drop the soap in the shower, on account of then he would have to bend over and the guy would rape his asshole. You dropped the soap. What the fuck?
That is a
rape joke I ever heard. They got they're doing prison reform, and I'm watching this, and it occurred to me because they go that there's a lot of inequities in prison. Obviously, the amount of people that go to prison that are African Americans is insane compared to whites. It's just two different criminal justice systems, and things have to be done about people are in for weed that shouldn't be and all that. But here's the thing. If they're trying to restore the criminal justice system, if they're trying to just, I think they should ask the prisoners, instead of just deciding what, because I swear to God, every prisoner would say the same thing. Stop raping me. People don't give a fuck, they think it's cute. And then you say to the fucking guards, why the fuck you let them rape? And they go, they do drugs and rape each other. We can't do anything about it. Can't control them. You go, you can't? They're in prison with bars, and you got a gun and fucking guns and shit. I think it'd be pretty easy. I think it'd be, hey, you, the cop. Come on over the other side. There's 2 bucks. God damn it, man. I know they're going to be very hard. What about when the Me Too movement starts to get to the prisons? Then they're going to fucking see some fucking shit. God damn, I think it's bad out here. Holy Christ. Because, men in our evil patriarchal system, some men use their power to get sex. In prison, they use sex to get power. Like, they rape. Oh my God, everybody loves them. If you're in prison, and there's always one guy, look at that, there's Chuck. The rapers, that fucker. He rapes other rapers. God damn. Fucking hushed tones. There it comes. Thank God that doesn't happen in real life. Imagine if that was the fucking way you moved up, like in, you know, like you work at an insurance company. You go, God damn, you notice Maurice started as a janitor 4 weeks ago, and now he's the vice president of telling people what to do and shit. What a meteoric rise that motherfucker. And then Maurice was like, ah! World's greatest fisherman. Maurice is the president. Stock market would tumble, I think. But anyway, the big election is going to come start and all this shit. God damn. See, that's the thing is, man, when elections happen, people always ask you, hey, you got to have opinions. You know, this is a new thing, by the way. When I was a kid, you know, people had like, I don't know, 5, 6 opinions. You know what I mean? I remember. Most of them be about food. You know what I mean? They're like buttermilk pancakes. What the fuck's wrong with you? But not an opinion on every single goddamn thing that ever happens. How do people think they're right anyway? Because when you think about it, how often are you right? Should be 50% of the time. But for some reason you go, I'm right. Why is that? Watch something on the TV and seem to know what they were talking about. Now, people don't like thinking. You know, I don't either. Fuck it, who does? Much easier to just pick your political opinions. In the same way you pick your shirt or your tie. You know, see some other motherfuckers wearing their shirt and tie. Go, I guess that's in fashion. Fuck it. I'll do that. I don't give a fuck. I don't know nothing. And when they have these fucking, here's the thing, when they start the election cycle, right, people want to show who they are. So they're trying to get like the smart people, because it's right at the start. Because people that aren't, like me, that don't know anything, we wait till a couple of days before. But other people, they want to hear early, so that if you see these ads, they're very, very complicated, you know? Like a guy will be there, or a lady. And a guy will say, hey, listen, man, if you want to hear about what I have to say about the crisis at the border, as well as the children being weighed down by mortgage debt, as well as the terrible crisis we have with climate change, and you can go on my www and see that all my issues on the position are clearly, and then I go, oh no, I won't do that. You seem like I felt everything, but here's the thing. Here's why I'm not going to watch your 20-page thing. On account of, a guy told me earlier that I only get the one life. So. I still got a box of Mattlocks beside my couch. I can't do everything, pal. They're still trying to figure out how Trump won, you know? Nobody knows. All these books coming out because they're trying to figure it out for this election. And also, I think it takes a while to write a book. So all these books that come out recently, it's always like, why, how did it happen? Oh, what the, what the? There was one book called, what the? Very good read. But my favorite was, it was by, but anyways, they try to explain Now, I have a little theory, I think I'm too simplistic or something, but I've never heard anybody say this. I think maybe Donald Trump won the presidency because he was the only guy running. I know, I'll leave you around, but what a perfect time for that little fucking experiment, huh? Couldn't have waited, had to be stylish. Couldn't have waited for fucking Even Hillary wrote a book, I saw it, about Trump presidency called What Happened. And there was you know how they say you can't judge a book by its cover? This book you can read by its cover. It only has 5 words on the cover. It says, What Happened? Hillary Rodham Clinton. There you go. More self-aware than I had thought. But I do think that's what happened. I think that's partially what happened. And people said, you know what, Hillary? We fucking hate your guts. Here's what we're going to do. We hate you so much. We are going to vote for a guy we hate more than you. It's a revenue. I don't know what's right, what's wrong, man, that shit. A lot of people don't know, by the way, it's not just me. I see, I'll turn on CNN and stuff, they have a poll, and they'll say, hey, what do you think the Pan-Pacific Asian downing of the Flight 401 will affect the Dow Jones with the GNP? Yes or no? You know what I mean? They ask, then at the end of the program, they show the results, and they show like a pie chart, and they show the results. And you go, God damn, I wish it was about a fucking pie. They show slices of the pie to represent the people. So it's always like 45% yes, 45% no, 10% I don't know. So, I used to be ashamed about not knowing, but I figured, God damn, that's a lot of, people in this greatest country in the best of all possible worlds, 10, 30 million people, I'm not ashamed to be part of that. It's a big number, a big raw number, And I fall for those. I will always answer those. When I see those ads on TV, those polls on TV, I phone up all the time. I go, yes, hello, is this the TV? Listen here now. I want to answer a question that you said. Here it is. I don't know. I don't know the answer. Did you write that down on the pie? I should know, I guess. I wrote these fucking new jokes down, and then, God damn it, because I want to be relevant. I'm going to look up some of these jokes I wrote. I'm tired of being irrelevant. This is how irrelevant I am. I didn't know you could call a person. I thought it was just like in court. They go, it's irrelevant what you're saying there. Matter of fact, you're irrelevant. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody wants to listen to you. You're immaterial, Mr. Macdonald. Man, I wrote some fucking jokes. They're woke jokes. You guys could read a newspaper or something for a while for a while. Okay, ready? We have something going on right now in the southern border that makes me sick to my stomach. This is not who we are as Americans. Because right now, you've got children, some as young as 2 or 3 years of age, being ripped from the arms of the people who pay good money to rent them for the border crossing. That's not who we are. If you rent the kid from the children, or the parents, or the cartel, you should get to keep that child till you're across. A deal's a deal. This is not who we are. Thank you very much. Thank you. I got all kinds of shit. All kinds of fucking shit. God damn, I think a lot of important shit. I didn't realize I wrote it down. Well, here's one. You know what frightens me maybe more than anything in the world? This is what keeps me awake at night sometimes. What if a terrorist got a hold of a dirty bomb, right? And just blew it up over like the northeast of the United States and killed like, I don't know, 20, 30 million Americans. Can you imagine the backlash against innocent Muslims? I try to understand, you know, try to understand. That's all you can do. Try to put your feet in the other fellow's shoes. You know? One time I remember I felt sorry, you know, because I had no shoes, and I saw a guy got no fucking feet. So I said, "You got any shoes, Brian?" You must have some extra shoes lying around where you used to have feet. I could really use them when I kind of got no shoes. No, man, I gotta be important. Fuck it. What else is wrong in this country? All kinds of shit. Everybody evil. I thought people were good, you know. Like, you know, you go around your regular life, people seem good, right? And evil. Sometimes people who use a racial slur get fired, you know. This kid in Saturday Night, that happens. Here's an interesting thing to remember about racial slurs. If someone says, well, let's say someone says the N-word in public, right? Believe it or not, that person is probably not racist. Isn't that weird? Like there's a guy named Richard Clark, some fucking name. It's not his name. But he's the head of like the fucking American Nazi party or whatever, right? He has never said the N-word in public. You know? He says he loves black people, you know? Because that's what racist people do. That's why I fucking wear hoods and shit. Klan members don't say anything. And when you ask about it, they go, no, we like them. It's just, we like white people, that's all. So if a guy says it in public, you're going to assume he's probably not racist. Especially if he's a comedian. I'm going to let you know something about comedy. A lot of it is lying. Saying the opposite, and then people go, God damn, I didn't expect him to say that. I said the opposite of what I expected. Well, you know, everybody different, everybody. Why can't they fucking... I got in trouble because I said the word retard. And to me, it's the context, right? Like I was doing a show, I said retard, and then this person said, Norm, silly, relevant stuff, and he hates retard. Now, what about context, right? I'm going to tell you the context. This is the sentence I said when I brought up retards. I said, I love retards. Did I count for that? I didn't want to say Down syndrome on account of sound like I'm a doctor or some shit. I don't want people going, can you hit my knee with a hammer? I go, I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying a big word. But I do love retards. When I was young, mentally retarded people, because I understand the word retard means to arrest yourself. You know, your development's arrested, so I understand it. But I love it. When I was young, my dad forced me to be friends with a retard. He was in school, my dad was my teacher. He said, God damn it, you gotta be friends with Vipon. I'm like, ah, fuck. Nobody likes me already. Anyway. And then Vipon kissed me on the lips. It took me a couple of years to get past that. Anyways, I loved him though. He made me, and this is why he was so happy. And then, this is what I don't understand why people, like there's this retard lived 3 apartments from me. And I wanted to be his friend, but he's 21, lives with his parents, and they didn't want me to be friends with obviously why. Because we live in this insane, I'm not gonna fuck a retard, you know? Anyways. I love them because they're happy. Now, isn't that what we all want? God damn it. Happiness, isn't that all you fucking want? And you can't get it. You can't fucking get it. Like sometimes I've had not much stuff. Like when I wake up first thing in the morning, that's when I'm happy. You know, I'm so full of hope. I wake up like, God damn. Wait, don't tell me fucking me talking about retards. So I get happy very seldom. That's the point. I wake up in the morning and go, God damn, I'm happy. I'm happy that I brought this Tempur-Pedic pillow. It's the best purchase I ever made. But then the light comes through the window and then just whatever, like my life gets out of me. I'm like, God damn, shit, what the fuck, why did I do that? What the fuck kind of person? Like, you know, you ever go in the mirror, look in the mirror? I don't mean like, you know, your age or ugly. I mean, look right into your eyes and go, yes, that is what I am. At that point, I'd like my retarded friend to go, I like bananas. I go, God damn. Never thought of it that way. I like bananas too. They're yellow. Fucking nice, they're yellow. Hey, how about you and me? Go buy a banana. Yellow one. He said that. Like envy happiness. It's like I remember when I was a kid, right? I remember my dad took us to the fucking Old West town. It wasn't really Old West. Obviously he didn't have a time machine. They pretended to be Old West. But they had a saloon and a bank and all that shit, sheriff and all that shit. And then this one guy said, would you like to pan for gold? I was so excited. Said, yeah, man, fucking pan for gold. And he was an old prospector, but he was Mr. Becker that lived down the fucking street from me. He's like, come on over here, son. I'm like, yeah, okay, Becker. So I go, and now I don't know if you've ever panned for gold, but there's a trough, right? And there's a pan. and then you take it out like this, it's all sand, and you go, and then at the end you have sand, you have some sand. Well, go, what about it? The guy's like, you better keep at it, sonny. You're like, all right. And then it's a fucking 2 hours, it's all fucking sand. And finally I remember I saw like a glint of a glister of a fucking hope of a gold. I'm like, I'm fucking happy. So that's how I think life is. I think life is sand. Once in a while, you walk like, God damn, this fucking sand. Motherfucker. Make me slow and shit. Oh, look at that. What the fuck is that? Meanwhile, retards are walking around with big bars of gold. Couldn't be happy. Why do they pity what I envy? I don't understand. I've heard people go, look at them laughing over there, it's a shame. They don't understand the horrors of life, that's the problem. They never will. That's the sad part, there's no cure, they'll probably die happy. Yes, I don't understand. People use, obviously, things to make them happy, like alcohol, drugs, ladies, probably. Some people like laying out ladies is an addiction and shit like that. I don't drink. I used to, but I don't do drugs. Now, you guys are probably going, oh, you're better than us, right? But think about this one. Red Bull, right? I drink Red Bull. So you go, so what? That's not a drug. I'm like, really? Because it's got caffeine in it, right? And you're like, well, caffeine's not a drug. Really? It's not? Because it is. Or like I smoke cigarettes, right? You guys are like, so what? Cigarette's not a drug. Really? Because it got nicotine in it. You're like, yeah, nicotine's not a drug. Really? Because it is. LSD, I do LSD. LSD's not a drug. Really? Because it bends time. Every night before a show, I take a fistful of LSD. So I had to go see this fucking psychiatrist. What a broken record this cunt's on. He's like, you have to stop taking fistfuls of LSD before every show. I'm like, all right. Is that all you fucking say? Now, I love that he's the expert, this fucker. You should see him. He's a 16-foot giraffe, got no spots. But he knows everything. Giraffe with no spots. Makes a lot of sense. And, but he's an expert on LSD because he's read all those melting books. Yeah, it's all a bunch of bullshit. I don't believe in psychiatrists or psychologists or any of that shit. I guess I don't know. I don't believe, this is what I don't believe. You know how they say you got a brain, your conscious one, it's conscious, and then your subconscious. You don't know about this. You got two brains, right? One you think you use, but you don't really. And then the second one does all the shit by itself. Like my buddy's all into psychology. I was having a fucking dinner with him one time. I remember I was drinking this glass of milk. He says, you know why you're drinking that milk, right, Norm? And I go, well, I know it's not because I like milk. I was on to him at that point. So he's like, no, it's not that actually. It's because you miss sucking on your mother's breast. I'm like, Now you folks don't know my mother, you know. But believe me when I say this, my mother is a saint, and I know lot of people feel that way about their mothers, but I do also, you know. She belonged to a generation of women that will no longer exist in the future, probably for the better, you know. But they're going to miss something too, because my mother, like so many women of her age, selfless, you know what I mean? Like, she would always make meals and make sure everyone was fed, and she'd be in the kitchen, you know, going, the turnips, you know, something like that. And she would just eat whatever's left, you know. And so I'm all right over here. My mother's so happy. She lives beside me, 86 years old. She's so happy. I would trade. And, you know, I've never seen anything shine from her eyes, just love. I don't think she's ever let an ironic phrase, you know, pass her tongue, you know. She's just a great person, and she's so happy. Like, she'll come back, she'll go to the grocery store and come back and go, Norm, the most amazing story. I said, what happened? She goes, a woman was buying a pineapple, it was $1.49. Last week, it was $1.19. Well, that's not a story, you old bag. What the fuck? We're not going to say that, obviously. I love it. My point is that she is the woman I love more than any woman that's ever existed. She's a fucking saint. And I don't even know what my point was. Well, I know. I don't want to suck her tits. Maybe that makes me shallow. I don't fucking know. Maybe I'm all about surface. So that also, right? Well, I'm fucking... Now I've talked to the guy where he's told me about my milk. And now my milk is sitting there. What the fuck am I supposed to guzzle it down? Can't get enough milk. Oh yeah, then it came time for the guy to order. You know what he gets? 2 meatballs and a banana. I'm like, hey, whoa. Wait a second. It's good for the goose. It's good for the Canberra. I don't know if I believe in that. My fucking brain. People fucking, they get a little too smart. You know what I mean? So, you know, you got a brain behind your own brain. And you just believe it because I went to school and shit. I don't know if I do. Like they say, sometimes they say your brain, your mind is so powerful, right? That you can forget something that happened to you when you were a child. And then you recover the memory later in life. And it's traumatic because it's never a good thing to remember. You know, you never go, God damn, I used to like peach pie. Funny, huh? I haven't thought about that yet. I had to get me a piece of peach pie. Nope. So that was the most horrific, violent, sexual. And this is why I don't like it. Because, you know, it makes you uncertain of everything. Because you don't know fucking your other brain. Like, for instance, right? I used to be at a dinner party or something. I've never been to a dinner party, but you know what I mean? Like some sort of social get-together. I've never been to a social get-together either, but... I think I have. But whenever I was there, you know... did your uncle ever fuck your asshole? I would say with pride, no! You just didn't know Uncle Jim too well, or you wouldn't even have asked that question. And I'd be filled with pride. But now I can't say that. Like, all I can say is, because there's 2 options. My uncle did not fuck me in my asshole. Or... my uncle did fuck me, and I forgot. So when people come up to me now and go, hey, Norm, your uncle ever fuck you in the asshole? I go, I don't know, 50-50, I guess. I understand mathematics. I would say 50-50. That makes me think I believe it, honestly. And if I do have a memory there, you know, this horrible memory, I want to never recover it. Just keep it way back in my other brain and fucking die with it, with that secret. Because, you know, who wants to fucking, when you find out shit like that, you're not the same, you know what I mean? You ever meet people who fucking went through shit that, you know, it's hard enough to fucking get through life, just do, but you know, I don't want to be going to a cheese sandwich store with my friend. Go, God damn, man, what are you getting in a cheese sandwich? I'm getting a cheese sandwich. What the fuck you always ask me that for? I don't know, just making talk, you know, small talk the way the cheese sandwich store. I was thinking maybe say I get 2 cheese sandwiches that way. Whoa. What? What do you say whoa for? Huh? No, I just remembered. Between the ages of 8 and 12, my uncle fucked my ass every day. Now I get no cheese sandwich. I'm gonna go live my life now. Who wants to live like that? But I don't even believe it. I think it's one of those things said by people that aren't smart enough for what they're saying. I believe if I got fucked in the ass by my uncle for 4 years, that would not slip my mind. I feel I might repress every other memory other than that memory. People go, no, you remember hypotenuse? Never heard of the word. Right angle triangle, sum of the squares of the 2 angles, adjacent to them, equals. I don't know. When did I learn that? Grade 5. I don't remember grade 5. Was that a grade? School? I remember my uncle's cock. God damn it. I'll never forget it. It wasn't that big, probably. If I got that down. You know how you remember things, then I go back and go, yeah, big enough. Well, you know, everybody's the same. Everybody's the same. People always go, what about, you know, because I used to sometimes make a joke about gays or whatever, lesbians. It's not, I don't give a, who cares? What the fuck anybody does? But you do care about what they do. The interesting thing, like every time I have a gay, like a hairdresser or something, I always ask them about fucking and sucking and shit. And they always tell me. They're happy to tell me. Because I really don't know how it works. Like I know 2 gay guys, I know this. One guy gets gypped. That's what I know. One guy's having a grand old time. The other guy's getting fucked in the asshole. It don't seem fair to me. See, the problem is they don't, you know, to fuck you gotta have a cock and a pussy. Now you don't have that, you gotta wildly improvise, you know what I mean? And of course, 2 guys, they got plenty of cocks. You know, they got probably 1 too many cocks. They got nothing else. And the women got no cocks, no. They gotta buy a cock in the store. That's always been a little weird to me. Like, goddamn, I hate cocks. I like the store-bought ones, but I like a human cock that much. Oh, nonsense. I don't know, I don't even know what I am. Like, if you call a guy what he, I believe a man is what he does. I don't believe a man is what he thinks. I believe that a man is what he does. Now, so you would say if someone was a homosexual, that would be a man who had sex with his own gender or whatever that. Obviously, I don't know what the fuck the word gender means, but I usually think it meant guy or woman, but I'm way off. I'm using the Oxford English Dictionary, which of course was written by a bunch of fucking evil white people. Anyways, so a gay person would be, you would be a gay person if you had sex with members of your own gender. If you're a straight person, that means you have sex with members of the opposite gender. Now, what about a guy like me? Yeah, I just whack off most of the time. So what? How do I fit into this? Where's my word? Because, by the way, this shows you how fucking, what would you call it? Like how indiscriminate a man is when it comes to fucking. He doesn't care. Like it's not like when you buy. It's not like you find your hand like attractive, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you never go, God damn, look at that. Why don't you fucking turn around for me, huh? Boy? Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you tonight, you fucking. You're a lunatic. The only reason a guy fucks his hand is because his hand is a whore. It's a slut, dirty, filthy slut. I should have said dirty, filthy slut, because that's slut shaming. Slut shaming here was something that I was on way before everybody else. I remember way back in high school, I'd be going, why are we shaming her again? I think we should think about this, fellas, on account of, if we shame her enough, what if she stops being a slut? Favorite woman I ever met in my life. Think about this, man. When a guy whacks off, right, he has to think in his head a crazy fucking scenario. You have to make yourself believe that scenario. And the fact that you can make, that blows my mind, that you can think that that thing in your head is real, so real, that you actually, you know, do that issue that, you know what I'm talking about. So imagine, even paranoid schizophrenics have a hard time reaching that level of unreality. And I can't do it like with, that's why I can't do it with like beautiful, like some people wag off to like a Playboy or something like that, or you know, a Victoria's Secrets. But I can't, I've tried doing that. I'm like, I got a Victoria's Secrets. I'm like, why don't you come over here, huh? Take your underpants off, I'll show you. What's that now? You don't want to? Okay, well, fine. It didn't make any sense to me either, man. I apologize for the crack of your underpants. But that's why, to me, it's got to be more realistic. Like, there's this girl that works in a 7-Eleven 4 blocks from me. Not much to look at, you know, but a little heavy, you know what I mean? She could drop 200 pounds, she'd still be a little heavy. But she likes me. And I've explained this to you before. The fact that she likes me, God damn it. So, anyways, And I know she likes me, right? Because you ever fucking have a little conversation, then the shadow of what they're saying is bigger. Like I remember, like I was at the 7-Eleven, I bought some sour cream and onion chips and some butter pecan ice cream. And then she goes, I like sour cream and onion chips. I'm like, yeah, me too. She goes, I really like them. And I go, so then I fucking whacked off thinking about it for like 3 days. And she had known the things that I was doing to her. Like I feel guilty. I go to the store, I go, here. She goes, what's the matter? I like that. I go, no, just put it in there. But man, I do that ever in my mind, Now, I'm talking about guys that have to create this scenario in their minds. And women, I don't know. I'm not a woman. I've asked women, I go, what do you think about during that? And they go, the wind. Advanced. Very advanced. The man has to, so I'll go, hey, come on in there. Vicky, they let you fucking have some time off, huh? The 7, I'll show you some time off at the 7. Like, I don't know, I'm always mean, I don't know what. In real life, I'm nice, but I think I know she's not going to say anything. I'm like, over here. I'll show you. Anyways, the point is this. It's that moment after the